All right, let's talk about Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks, the undefeated 3-0 Seattle Seahawks up until this point. Really good day, I thought, from Geno Smith. I want to get into the film study and talk about what just the Seahawks offense in general did well. Because I'm sure if you're a Geno Smith hater, do those exist? I don't know. But if you are a Geno Smith hater, there are things you could point to say, well, it was really the offense as a whole looking good. The play you see on the screen, trying to hit Tyler Lockett over the middle, you're going to run a play action as well. Smith takes the snap, and this is going to be a really well-blocked play by Seattle. Smith has all day to throw. I mean, you see how long he had to, finally wait for Lockett to get open. Still good job by him, though, being patient, understanding your pocket. I do have to say, and we'll get into it a little bit later, sometimes he does hold on to the ball a touch too long as is, but here he has time to get it over to Lockett, and you see Lockett, who is just wide open on this play. Again, this is what Seattle can do, right? They have a lot of very talented receivers, and when you get to time like this, guys are going to get open. Smith makes the throw, and they're able to pick up a big completion right there. So, good stuff there by the Seahawks to be able to do that as a team as a whole. Sure, like Smith, wasn't the highest degree of difficulty play, but that's not to say that there weren't times when he was making higher degree of difficulty plays. Something like this, where it's going to be a zone coverage concept. Again, you have a receiver who's going to kind of get into a gap in coverage over the middle. This time, though, when the play begins, for one thing, Miami kind of has a unique way they're generating pressure. It's still just a four-man rush, but because of kind of the way they're having defensive linemen drop back into coverage and everything, you see how there is a gap in between those two Miami players right there. One thing I really like about Smith is if he sees a window, he sees an opportunity to make a throw, he's not going to just hold on to the ball for forever in those scenarios. He will fire it through the window if he sees it that it's open. Watch, he gets the ball through there quickly. They're able to pick up a big gain and a first down. Again, these are the types of things that Geno Smith can do when he sees something like this happening. This might not seem like the highest degree of difficulty play either, but these are hard to do. And the difference between being a successful team and an unsuccessful team is oftentimes by being able to make these plays. Now, I want to get into the one big negative. He had 2 interceptions. The second interception wasn't really his fault, in my opinion. It was kind of just a fluky play. But this one, not his best, in my opinion. It's a 3rd and 15. That has to be mentioned at the start of the play. Smith takes the snap, and again, he's in his own end zone. He's looking down the field. This is around when he has to be making a decision. You really have to have a quick trigger when you are in your own end zone, especially in a situation like this where converting onto 3rd and 15 seems very small to begin with. Smith has multiple checkdowns that he could throw to, and even if you don't love either of those options, which I think he should throw it to either of those options, but even if you just spike it at one of their feet, that would still be a fine play at this point. You have to be moving quickly. Smith does not, has his head downfield, is under pressure. That not great, but he's trying to get rid of the football right here, which is, again, a strategy I don't hate, especially I think at this point, you got to just avoid the safety, throw it at your receiver's feet. But he goes for the completion, throws it a bit high, and that results in a interception. It was tough where his receiver started to move towards him, and then I think it would have been caught had that not happened. Bit of a unfortunate break for sure, but this is still a situation that he could have avoided. I think that's reasonable to say. This is the only real negative I had with him, but this was a negative. We gotta talk about DK Metcalf if we're making this video, where this was a great play by Metcalf more than anything. He's gonna kind of fake as though he's cutting over the middle and then run a deep shot. The safety is the player who should be covering him here. However, when Smith takes the snap, he's going to look, he's looking all the way. He wants to get it to Metcalf, and you see why. Metcalf gets wide open on this play. This is just a great route. This wasn't a blown coverage or anything. This is just DK Metcalf doing DK Metcalf type things. As you see, Smith is able to hit Metcalf in stride. Still down just a touch, but nowhere near bad enough for it to prevent a touchdown. Really good stuff by Geno Smith, but great stuff by Metcalf on this one. But again, I want to go over here because not all of the good Metcalf stuff was just because, okay, Metcalf's getting wide open and Smith is just hitting him. Smith was doing some nice things as well. This play is going to start off like this, where the other two receivers to the offense's right run deeper routes. Metcalf is going to start off kind of essentially doing nothing. Watch as when Smith takes the snap. It looks like, I couldn't tell if this was supposed to be a fake by design or a fake screen or what, but you see Metcalf, he's kind of in a one-on-one matchup right here. The play is not working as designed. He's kind of just going to say, well, might as well run down the field. However, for Geno Smith, there's pressure, and so Are you going to be able to make anything work? Probably not, right? But one of the things I think Smith is really underrated at is extending plays and is just making plays when it doesn't seem to be working as designed. Watch him get around this pressure, gets outside the pocket, and makes this off-balance throw to DK Metcalf, who is not really that open. There is a Miami player who's having to play Metcalf, so his back is turned towards the ball, but still, it's not a ton of separation. Smith is going to have to throw it over to Miami player and hope he can get a good catch from Metcalf, but that ends up being exactly what happens. A really nice throw there by Geno Smith for sure, but nice catch by Metcalf as well. So this is just what I mean about, like, yes, there is some DK Metcalf's awesome, but, like, part of how you're using DK Metcalf also comes down to the quarterback, and Smith, doesn't just, look good because of the good receiver. He uses the good receiver to look good, right? Also, this play was a very good one where it's going to be a man coverage concept that the Miami Dolphins are in right here. And one of the unique things about the Seahawks this season has been the emergence of Jackson Smith-Njigba, a first-round pick who didn't look great right out of the gate, looked kind of okay, showed some flashes last year, but this year has looked really good. That's his route, one that, again, 2nd down and 2, should be able to help move the chains, right? Smith takes the snap. He's going to look in Smith-Njigba's direction right here. And one thing that really is making this play work is with the traffic in front, the Miami player covering Smith-Njigba is having to run kind of a wider route than he would want to get to Smith-Njigba. But also, Smith puts this right on the money. Smith-Njigba is able to, make the catch and continue running. Again, you want to, make throws like that. I kind of always say yards after the catch isn't just a wide receiver stat. Part of it is putting it in a position to where your receiver can continue running after the catch and pick up as many yards as possible. Again, nothing fancy, but these plays really do add up. So yeah, I think they're playing well. I think the Seahawks in general are playing well. And we can sit here and say it's not the best competition or whatever. I don't think the Dolphins' defense is horrible. They have their, at one point, their 3rd-string quarterback in. There's only so much you can do there. But, as a whole, I do think that there is some real value in what the Seahawks are doing right now. And, again, we can sit here and say schedule all we want. They do play the Lions this upcoming week on Monday Night Football. That should be an interesting one. But, winning in the NFL isn't easy. Being able to rack together wins, it's tough to do, and being able to go 3-0 is still difficult. And we've seen, sure, they beat Denver, but Denver had an impressive win against Tampa Bay. Sure, they beat the Patriots. The Patriots had a impressive win over Cincinnati. I don't know if Miami's going to have too many impressive wins with Tim Boyle, but still, it's winning in the NFL, and they won in dominant fashion, too. That also needs to be factored in. If they won by 3, we're probably not viewing this the same way, but they were able to look good doing it. And Geno Smith, playing good football right now. Again, maybe not perfect football, but really good football, showing that he is still a very valuable quarterback and doing some nice things for Seattle. So at least that's what I think about all of this. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks? Before I go, though, I will mention I do have a movie channel. If you like watching movies, check that out. The link is in the description below. It's Jackson Kruger Movies is the name of the channel. So yeah, check that out if it seems like your kind of thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Geno Smith. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.